lead into it.
Okay, well, Tony, let us hear about what was it like growing up with your mother and how you made it to where you are today.
Uh, oh, man. Well, I mean, I lived with my mother. From obviously from birth to I want to say like around 4 or 5 years old. Um, I don't really remember too much, obviously, as a little kid. I just remember like typical upbringing. Except, I mean, it was just me and my mom's. No father figure or anything like that. So for me, it was just kind of getting all my needs met. Had a lot of toys, met with a lot of kids. It was pretty regular. But then I transitioned from living with my mother to living with her foster parents over in Long Island.
Now, 1 second. How did that happen?
Uh, to the best of my ability, I don't know the full. Apparently, I just remember she didn't have the finances to take care of me, but I've been hearing that it was a different reason. I don't know the full details on that, but yeah,
Okay, and you went to live with your mother's foster parents.
correct.
Okay, and did you ever move back with your mom, or did you leave your foster parents' house and go on your own?
I mean, this was much later. I stayed with them for a couple of years, and then my grandparents got custody of me.
Okay, okay.
My mother fought for custody, and then it was like a back and forth until I eventually lived there around like 12 years old.
How was it living with your grandparents, man? Was it better than living with your mom or living
I
with
mean, now thinking about it, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, outside of some like, just petty, just some differences where I didn't gel with the type of religion because they were Muslim, and I just didn't feel like it was something that it wasn't a lifestyle that I wanted, but that was really my only complaint, and just them just being strict. But that's just usual teenage stuff. So, I mean, overall, I don't really have too much to say in terms of like my experience with my grandparents. It was just kind of again standard upbringing. It wasn't until I moved in with my mother that I felt like things just took a turn for the worse.
Now, what age did you? Okay, so what age did you turn when you moved in with your mother?
I was around like 12.
12. And okay, so what was that experience like at the age of 12?
I mean, at the time, I was excited because I'm like, you know, being able to live with Crystal Swirlz. That was, I hadn't lived with her in years prior to that. So, and I feel like she had tried really hard to get me back, and just wanted to live with my actual parents, instead of living with my grandparents. So
yeah.
was always that was something I was looking forward to,
Do you know your father?
No,
No. Okay. Do you know where he is?
no,
Have you ever met him?
no.
Wow. Have your mother ever talked to you about your father?
She really doesn't like when I talk about him. Even as a kid, like I would ask like, "Where's my father? Like, what's going on?" Like, and she would get angry and just be like, "I don't want you to talk about him anymore." So that was kind of like a taboo. That was like almost a taboo topic, honestly.
So she withheld information about your origin from you because you have a right to know where you came from, where you're from, who's your father. So she withheld that from you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Was she verbally abusive, physically abusive when you were living with her?
This when I was living with her as a preteen and a teenager, yes.
And what were some of the things
Prior
that
to
she
that,
would?
no.
Okay, so what were some of the things she were doing to you? verbally or physically?
Man, that's a long list, bro. Um, I won't get into a whole exhaustive list, but um, I'll just leave it at this, right? The abuse was more like you're worthless. You ain't gonna amount to nothing. You ain't shit. Physical abuse. I mean, there's a whole line of this.
So your mother would tell you that you're worthless. So Crystal Swirlz, your mother would tell you that you're worthless and you would not amount to anything at the age of 12.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's horrible, man. I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
Yeah. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit, Theo, or you want me to keep going?
One thing, Tone, if you don't feel comfortable saying everything, you don't have to say, like, just say
Oh, no,
what
I wasn't going to disclose everything. I was just going to give just enough details that you guys get the idea.
Because this is pretty bad when you have a mother telling you that, I mean, this is your biological mother telling you that you're nothing and you won't amount to anything. And, for you not to want to explain further detail, which you already said, that's horrible. That would break a 12-year-old alone by itself. But since you don't want to elaborate, that lets me know that there were some traumatizing things going on and being done to you. And
Just this whole thing kind of brings back flashbacks, to be honest with you. But like, also, it just wouldn't be conducive to talk about all of it, just because it's an exhaustive list, and honestly, like, a lot of the stuff is just very graphic,
okay.
And I'm not trying to, like, like, if you really want to know, just privately message me. But otherwise, I'm not gonna, But what I will say about the physical abuse, I mean, it was everything from, like, getting hit with a metal spoon. It was getting hit with an extension cord on my back, and her saying, "I'm the master, you're the slave," and she would try to whip. She always would try to whip the skin off my back, and she always seemed to have her eyes would be bulging, and she would always have, like, this weird scream, and just it was bizarre, man. And just as a kid, I always thought to myself, like, I guess my mother really doesn't love me, because if she did, like, why would you hurt me? And I always felt fear. I always felt like, how can I, if my own mother doesn't love me, who else can love me in this world, right? So I'm just all alone. And when I would try to reach out to family members or anything like that, that was discouraged, right? Like, I never had any contact with any family members at that time. So, I'm pretty sure she did that intentionally to isolate me, now looking back. And she probably knew I got a loose mouth, so she probably knew, like, I was going to say something right away, which is why I never went to the hospital. I never went to the hospital, and I never got examined or anything prior to when I actually reported my mother.
Wow. Okay, so as a child growing up, did you see different colors, different types of men come in
races,
and out of your home?
all of them.
Different races come in and out of your home?
I mean, I remember she was dating a lot for, like, a brief amount of time when I first got over there.
Okay.
I mean, do I remember any of them? Not really.
I was gonna ask too, man. Why did she have the name specifically Crystal Swirlz? Is it because she's a swirler by any chance, or no?
It's a deal. We'll get to that. We in the
Okay,
beginning stages.
Because I'm somewhat familiar with the channel, but I'm not too familiar, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. Let's just start at the origin stage. So at what age did you officially just leave your mother's house and never come back?
I was 14.
14, and from there you went into the foster care system.
Correct.
Okay, and how did the people in foster care treat you? Your social worker, your foster parents, or your caregiver, your caretaker?
I mean, to be honest, it was about average. Nothing remarkable, but nothing bad either. I think for me, the biggest, I feel like the biggest takeaway is really just that any place was better than living with my mother. That's pretty much the main thing, right? Um, I my mindset has always been like, listen, I don't care if you gave birth to me, but if you're not gonna love me, and really treat me with care, then you're not the person for me, and that's it.
Why?
I never doubled down. I never had second thoughts about it. I always thought to myself like, like you can't be, you're not for me if you treat me this way. So
Why do you think that she had, well, I don't know if you've seen her newest video. We'll get to that in a minute, but why do you think she has so much hate for you?
to me, it's kind of evident that she just has a hatred for black men. I personally don't even I don't even I don't even feed into the negativity or watch her channel, to be honest. Like I was aware of her channel from a while back, but I never gave it any thought. I just moved on with my life and that was it. So I like in terms of like her ideologies and beliefs and core values, I personally don't really care, to be honest with you. I think anyone looking at her can tell that her mental health is deteriorating and that she's in a bad space in her life.
How do you feel about her having a lot of support? Because she does have, she says a lot of hateful things across social media, but she has a lot of support. How do you feel that? How do you feel about her saying the things she says about you and did what she did to you, but she has a lot of support?
Man, that it's heavy, man, because I know I mean, I'm not even sure how all this blew up and got my attention recently when this is something that she's apparently been saying for 2 years now. But I mean,
Well, see, one second. Well, when I first found out about your mother, she was on live stream. She was on a live, well, not on a live stream. Well, maybe it was a live stream. It was a video or a live stream, and she was with the guy that a lot of her friends called Dusty Dan. He was an older white man. He was a truck driver, and
okay.
they both were on her channel calling black men the N words and saying you're slaves and you're this. So that's when we first came in contact of who excuse my French, but this beast really is. And so I did a video. I was the first person to officially do a video.
When
This was last year. This was before my channel, my big channel got flagged down. So this was early last year. Okay. So she was and then after that video, after I dropped that video, something happened and they broke up. And I came back and did another video and asked, was I the reason why you guys broke up? Now, maybe about 2 months ago, she was with another white man, and he was smoking meth in front of her and your other brother, which has autism. Now, he beat her up. I'm more than sure he beat her up in front of your brother. So that was, on the internet, and we talked about that also. And we asked the women who support her to stop supporting her and, suggest to, just suggest she get some help. But and she stayed off her channel for a little bit, and then that was pretty much it. And then she came back. So I understand, and it's it's tough for me to talk about another black man's mother like this. But you
Yeah.
know, based off of what she has put out online, she left me and other people no choice, because she doesn't call black man Niggers, the actual N word, because she'll get flagged down. So they switched the spelling up and call us Nakers,
Yeah.
Nakers, right?
Yeah.
And YouTube allows this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And for her to actually give birth to a black son and to hate him, that means she hates herself.
Correct.
Now, you know, and I know it's really, really bad for a child, whether it's because, you know, here in Black America, black boys are often neglected all the time, and a
Absolutely.
lot of attention is always paid to the girls, right? And even though all this attention is paid to the girls, the results hasn't changed, and it hasn't changed in a positive way, right? But like young men like yourself, young black men like yourself, I mean, you made it out alive. A lot of young black men who go through this situation don't make it out alive. Okay, and whether it's your life or whether it's your sanity, This is how a lot of black people become homeless, because the family structure is so broken. So I understand that it hurts, and it will hurt anybody to have a mother like Crystal Swirlz. That is out of this world, right? But if she doesn't love herself, she's not going to love you. You came out of her. Okay. Now, I did hear that she was pregnant with you at 14. Is that true?
14? Nah.
She was
she had me when she was 17.
17.
Okay.
So they lied. Yeah, they came to my channel. When the video first, when I first uploaded the video, they came to my channel. Her friends said she doesn't care about him. She had him when she was 14, and I thought like that made.
I don't know where that came from.
Okay. And I'm sorry I have to even say this to you, to repeat this to you, man. Now your mother is on. Now I want to jump a little bit, because your mother is on YouTube saying that you did inappropriately touch your brother. Is this true? She's saying the reason why she feels this way about you is because you did something to your brother.
It's false.
Okay, I figured.
So she's just talking out of her ass. Okay, yeah. I'm not surprised that she would lie like that. She seems like the type that would lie on a black man, to be honest.
There's even apparently there's even a public record proving that there was nothing that I did, and that like she actually was the one that had inflicted child abuse on me, if anything. So that's actually easily accessible. So
what she did was abuse you, and then she didn't want to hold herself accountable. She created this lie about you to take the heat off of her.
Yes, that's pretty much it.
And I believe you. I totally believe you, because she's a person you just can't believe or trust. And I've never seen, this is your mother, but I have never seen anything nastier on social media. And you haven't seen it a lot, and that's good. And you don't want to see it.
I mean, I have a lot of I've had an anonymous person send me a lot of evidence of what she's been saying, but I mean, to be honest, man, after like a minute or two, I just don't have it in my spirit to listen to such vile hatred, especially towards me. Especially as a man who, I'm trying to do good for the world, and I'm trying to speak my truth. And to have my name dragged through the mud,
by your mother.
I'm a person of integrity, and I'm a person that, I love on people, right? And like, for me, I strongly dislike, sexual predators and things of that nature. So to be accused of the very thing I strongly dislike, that just weighs really heavy on my heart.
I hear you. I totally hear you.
It's just so much to wrap my head around, man. I don't even know where to start, man. God.
Tony, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Um, honestly, man, like, I have a podcast I'm doing. So it's really podcast will still be going on. I eventually want to do the podcast long term and get paid for it, which is me pretty much detailing everything that happened to me in foster care, but also educating, the younger generation of people in foster care to kind of inspire them and to let them know that they're not lost and to kind of use it as a guide, a manual to lead them in that direction. But also, I want to be a public speaker, just sharing my story with other people, letting them know like the different obstacles I had to overcome, this being one of them. And, eventually just being an international speaker across, different platforms and really just letting my story be told.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. I hope you succeed in all those goals, man. I'm proud.